All right, you guys. So just to tell y'all a little bit about how we're expecting the students to engage with us. We are, like everybody else, we're pretty much new to this, and so we're learning as we go. When it has happened back right after spring break, the fastest setup for us was to do the Zoom sessions. And if I'm smart enough to share, and I'm saying this is if
We need to switch
so.
over to Zoom.
Yeah, I know how to do in a Zoom. That's how not good I am here.
It's okay. Give yourself space and grace. At the top, you should see a square, and it looks like it has an arrow coming up from the bottom, and that's how you're going to screen share.
I did this and I wasn't seeing. Okay, let me do this. All right. So when we're going through, and let me make sure everybody can see this, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Well, different people do different things. I'm really not good at memorizing websites, so I just remembered the Del Mar website, and you can tell how often I show them how to get to the Math Learning Center. I type in the Math Learning Center in the search engine, and we're the first thing that pops up when it pops up. So they click on the Math Learning Center site, and it tells us a little bit about everything that we have here. And the couple of things to look at is that anytime they need help with any videos, we have most of the lecture videos for most of the books, and they will have to sign on to their Canvas to look at this. I'm already signed in, so I don't have to worry too much about it. They can pick whatever book, they can pick whatever chapter they might need, and then pick whatever section that they're working on. So this would help for anybody, anywhere. And a lot of times we have students that will need help on something below their level, and so they go back and review. And the videos are pretty good. I'm not going to play them, but the videos are pretty self-explanatory on how they do stuff. It's just like having a teacher talk to you, and it's really helpful to review stuff that they're not sure of. So that's one thing that we have up for them. Another thing that we have up for them to look at is handouts. A lot of times, most of the teachers will link the handouts to their pages, but anytime they need something, especially we all know that they all do their homework really early because they're on it at 4 o'clock in the morning. They haven't stayed up late at all. So all the handouts are there for them to look at. And a lot of times if we're in the Learning Center and we're helping them, we'll send them a copy of a handout that we know they need. We'll email it to them, but they can always come back and look at any of the handouts we have. And they're also on the Canvas page, which is really nice. But the main thing that everybody worries about is that they want to go to the tutoring stuff. So on our website, one of the first things we do is we have the online tutoring. We click on this, and it takes us to our page in Canvas. They'll have to sign into Canvas again using their credentials. And it shows a little bit how to sign on to Canvas and how it works on it. Important thing this semester is that we're trying some new stuff. Normally we're open from 8 to 8 Monday through Thursday. We used to be open from 8 to 1 on Fridays, but we weren't getting enough people coming in that early. So we changed it to be the same as our Saturday hours. So Friday, Saturday, we're open from 10 to 3. And we don't have to make any appointments. They just sign on to this when they get to this, and once they've read the process, and there are 2 processes we'll talk about, they can submit a tutoring request. When they're doing the submit the tutoring request, we're going to ask them a couple of questions, so as they come on, we know what they're looking at and who might be able to help them the best. So we ask them to pick their class, and when we ask them to pick their class, it's not just math classes. If it's got something that's got any kind of numbers on it, we will look at it. So we got a lot of people that will come in for TSI. The first couple of weeks, we get a lot of kids just trying to sign in to their stuff, and they don't know where to go to, so we assist them doing that. But we'll do anything from the lower levels of math all the way up to the upper levels of math. And we do a little bit of chemistry, a little bit of physics, Some of the classes over at the other campus, like the chemical technology classes and stuff, we will help them with that. So they have to go through a list of what's the easiest for them to do and look at. So I'm gonna be really lazy because I know there's a teacher that teaches this class. It's the developmental mathematics. I know that she teaches section 709.
You talking about yourself again?
No, I would never talk about myself in third person. Never, ever. Yes, I know this is my class. So, and then they ask for, some of this, if they don't fill in everything, it's not the end of the world. We can look that up. So on our end. So if they don't remember it, take something that's similar. In fact, I like messing with our system. That's my ID number. And then they have two options right here. They can do live Zoom session, which is as soon as they click it, it pops into our link for the Zoom session. They pop into our Zoom session. We'll do that in a second. To show you how we see it when they pop in. The other option is email. Some of the students are really reluctant to talk to us. Some of them have busy schedules. They may be at work and they don't understand something, so they can send the email option. So they pick whichever one they want, and it doesn't even matter if they don't get a copy of this email address that we have, because when we do this and submit, it's going to show the math tutor email again. So it says, I want to do a Zoom session, and it says we're going to click on this, and I'm not sure if it's 100% going to work. We're going to find out. What we're going to do is that when we come into the front of the Zoom session, we always have somebody that's going to greet us. And let's see if I can do it. And there we go. So as you can see right now, we got John and Pamela and Bethany. Pamela and Bethany's doing dual roles. She's hanging out with us and hanging out with them. But when we come in, we usually have whoever's in the front greet us. And we talk. And just to let you know, this is Pamela and John. They're both full-timers also. We're only missing David right now, which is not a big deal. Sometimes we have all of it, sometimes we don't. And so they're manning the front right now while we're doing this meeting. And they'll make some small talk, and then they'll say, okay, I'm gonna go get a tutor. And what happens is that they're going to go talk to the tutor, say, hey, so I have a student coming in. She's coming in for developmental mathematics, and we're going to send them your way. So I bet you, that Pamela set me up. We're going to go into Bethany's breakout room. So oh yes, that's what was taking me so long. I was helping one of my students, so that's totally cool. So they'll talk to us and they'll come back and say, hey, I'm sending you to this student and this tutor. It should pop up saying that you're invited to the breakout room, and they'll click join. And now we're switching over to Bethany's breakout room. And we're taking forever. Sometimes it lags. I just like hanging out in space.
Hey,
and
again.
so, yeah. And that's why you're going to see Bethany, if you were looking at both of them, you'll see them at two different angles because she's on two different machines right now.
And I'll show you kind of how I don't know if it'll work, but this is my OneNote, one of the OneNote apps that we use to mark up, and we write on it because we have Surface Pros that allow us to write with the pen, and it works pretty smoothly.
And what's nice is that when they come into the thing, they'll go, what are you working on? We ask them all that stuff, and we ask them to share their screen, because once we pull up their stuff, when they pull up their stuff, we can actually write on their screen and work the problem out with them, which is most of the time we encourage them to do Zoom, because when they're trying to talk to us in an email, we don't, unless they're sending us pictures of the problem, sometimes we misunderstand what they're asking and what problem they get stuck on. And it will sometimes take a little bit longer to do an email back and forth. If it's on Zoom, they hop on Zoom. Usually within a couple minutes, they're done because we've shown them where they've missed.